So most of y'all are aware that I've only been building Gunpla for a couple of months now. I built a grand total of 16 kits, but I'm a quick learner. I use my ADHD to my advantage, and I learn real quickly and I hyper focus on stuff pretty easily. But when I'm in a hobby, I'm in a hobby, and that's pretty much consistent across my life. So getting into Gunpla, I didn't know the tools to use for this, and so I just kind of guessed. And I bought a little $8-9 kit off of Amazon to kind of see if this was something I wanted to get into. And that little kit came with a couple of sanding tools, files, a pair of nippers that broke on me after like the second build, um, and a couple of pliers. Out of that entire kit, I used the X-Acto knife or the hobby knife and the pliers or tweezers. Actually, the tweezers, not pliers. Out of that little kit that I got, and that's all I use out of that since I bought it. So, what did I do afterwards? So I want to go ahead and go over what I bought and the 4 essential tools that I use for kit building. And basically, start off with a decent pair of nippers. Let's see if I can send her that. You can go get these on Amazon for about 17 bucks. They're usually on sale, a percentage off, and they're from the brand Rua Tool. Now, I've tried to find their website everywhere, but I think they're just a distributor or whatever. I don't know. But I mean, these are an amazing piece of kit. They do have a flat side, and then they have one blade. So a lot like the God Hands, they come equipped to handle these. They come equipped to handle cutting the plastic off the runners, and they do a pretty good job. If you want to go a little higher end on that, you can get and these are the Rua Tool version 1.0. If you want to go a little higher end, move these up to the side, we can go with the Rua Tool 3.0s. These have a thinner blade. They are meant to prevent a little less stress marks on the kits as you cut them off the runners, and they do a pretty damn good job. Now, out of the two, this was the most expensive. These are about $30, $35 for this set of nippers. So if you're just getting into this and you want to spend just a little bit of money, I would recommend these right here. They were like $17. Nothing too expensive. Nice little magnetic lid on this case. They came with some paperwork, a warranty thing, whatever. They're cheap enough. If they break, you can just repair them. I wouldn't worry about paying shipping and handling all that stuff, or whatever you may have to do to get these shipped off. I would just go buy another pair, 2-day shipping to your house, and be done with it, especially if they break. But as a God Hand alternative, this is better than spending 50 to 60 bucks on a pair of nippers. You get, a decent quality, a pretty good amount of quality for $17. Moving on, the next thing you should definitely buy is a decent pair of files. Now, I ran through a couple of different sets, and this brand is what I landed on at the end of it. The Steady files. It comes in a pack of 4, and I think it was $11.99 for this. It comes with this tapered edge right here. Then it comes with another that has a flat edge. That's a narrow flat edge. Then they got a short rectangle and a long rectangle, and you can see that they have all of this right here. That's for the filing. You do need to be careful because I think I read this is close to something like 10,000 grit. It's super, super fine. It's really meant for buffering, but I use it to kind of file down the nubs after I clip off the pieces of plastic off the runners. It does a phenomenal job. One downside is, again, is a very high grit equivalency, so you need to be careful when you are sanding down the plastic, because you can eventually sand it down to the point that you reshape the surface of the plastic, and you don't want to do that. But again, this set of 4 was like 11 bucks, so definitely worth the money, definitely worth the buy. I highly recommend getting these. The next is this thing that came out of that $8 um, toolkit that I bought initially, and it came with like 15 or 20 extra blades. This comes in handy for a multitude of reasons, but the one that I use the most for is those annoying pieces that come off the runner, like the leg units, for example. And we'll pull one of my Gundams over here. See right in here, like the leg units. Sometimes in these curves, they will have nubs that you just can't traditionally get and cut off. So you could take the fine edge of this X-Acto knife and you can carefully, very carefully, cut away at that nub, and then it eventually get it down and to the point where it's basically flat where it should be. Now, do I recommend using the filing tool afterwards? It's not necessary unless you're wanting to start painting and really get that as close as possible and have that super flat edge. For me, I'm not that picky, so this little X-Acto knife that came with that $8 kit was a pretty good deal, especially when you can go to Hobby Lobby and pick these up for about the same price for $8. So this coming with that wasn't too bad. Eventually, I will get an X-Acto knife, but right now, since I got spare blades and this does pretty well, I like the pen style of it, I'm going to keep using it. Last but not least is a pair of tweezers. Now this came as a set of 3. It came with a flat edge, a pointy edge like you see here. Yeah, pointy edge like you see here. And then it came with a curved pointy edge. These are my primary, these are my go-tos. And I use these for one very specific reason. Stickers. I use these to get the stickers off these little sheets and put them on because they're so fine pointed. It's easy to just grab a little bit of that edge and put it on the Gunpla, put it on the Gundam or the kit that you're working on. Now, I know a couple of people out there use the hobby knife to do that. I prefer these. I feel like I get a better control of what I'm doing, and I've learned from the experience in the past building 40K and painting 40K that cutting your hand open with an X-Acto knife is not fun. That's a nice little scar I got right here. It's been a little over a decade and a half since it's happened, so it's healed up quite nicely. I had a butterfly stitch that. That was not a fun cut because it got deep. So that's the tool I use. So again, pliers, files, good files. Let's put that over here. Good nippers or decent nippers, and an X-Acto knife. Those are the 4 tools that I use primarily. That's all I use. I can use more if I need to. Sometimes I use the plastic prior tool, the one I can pull parts away from each other, but that's so rare anymore that I primarily stay with these 4 pieces. One other thing I use, and I wouldn't consider it a tool, but it helps add definition to the kit, and that would be, let's move it out of the way, this. Now, there's been some mixed reviews on this. Some people really like it, other people don't. When I'm panel lining my real grades, my high grades, and even some master grades, this is the marker, the fine tip marker that I go with. It is for panel lining. You can get it at Hobby Lobby or Amazon. I think Hobby Lobby is like $10, maybe a little lower. But this is the marker I would suggest you go and start out with. You can get the Tamiya panel liner, use at your own risk when it comes to that from the research I've done on it. You can use the other panel line marker that's the free flow out there. I haven't got that one. I prefer this one. I like to have complete control over where I'm marking, how that flow is going. It just works for me. This is not everybody's cup of tea. It may not be your cup of tea, but it is mine, and it's what I prefer to use. Word to the wise, do not use isopropyl alcohol to clean this off. It will go ahead and take it all off. So what I've been doing is, I know this is a little unorthodox, but I have this little glass towel that was meant for glasses. As you can see, I've used it for a lot of different. It is dirty, and that's okay because that's going to be all it's for. But you can see all the black on there, and I use this to do this fine level of detail here in these kits. We're here in the panel lining, as you can see. This kit is a kind of a bad example of that, but that's basically what I do. So that is that. Again, a file. Steady makes some good ones. I can put the link in the description below. The ruler tool, again, I can put the link in the description below. Invaluable. Pair of tweezers, preferably pointed tips. That's what I use. I could put the kit or the toolkit I bought to get these out of, but any like this will work for you. A X-Acto knife or a hobby knife, and the Gundam marker for panel lining. So that is the 4 tools I recommend, and then the accessory for painting or panel lining to complete your setup. That is it. That is all you absolutely need. If you want to get into more, you can, but these are the essentials, in my opinion. And after 16 kits that I've built thus far, mostly being real grades and master grades, primarily real grades, this is what I've used for all of them. And they've turned out quite well, as you've seen in some photos on Instagram, Threads, probably even Gunpla While Adulting Facebook group if you follow me there. These are the 4 tools I use at all. So at the end of this, I know that the contest has been talked about on a couple of different videos. That is still going. 500 subscribers. Let's get that number there. I want to go and get that master grade Sinanju Stein. What I'm going to do here in the next week or two is I'm going to order one for myself. I'm not sure when I'm going to build it, but I'm going to order one for myself. And when I do, I'm going to make a pretty big announcement about it because I'm pretty stoked. I watched Gundam Narrative the other day, and God, that mobile suit is badass looking. So I'm pretty excited to get this Sinanju Stein. I've got the Sinanju already, the red one, that I will be buying or building very soon. So keep an eye out for that one. So again, please go and like and subscribe. I want to go and build up this channel. I'm really dedicated to getting this done, so much so that right above this camera is a Panasonic Lumix DMC GH3 that I got with a little kit lens for $250 and pretty good condition off of mpb.com that I'm going to start using this weekend. I think starting Wednesday actually. I should have the mini HDMI to USB-C and a couple of other things to tie this into my Mac and start using that to record these videos. So this should very well be the last video that I've recorded on my iPhone 16 Pro Max. So I want to thank all those who have subscribed thus far, who have encouraged me to go down this path and continue building and continue producing these videos. I know that they're not the greatest. I am working on new intros. I'm working on how I'm going to reformat the videos and how many I put out each week, and how many live streams I do. So I am working on revamping things as I go. I'm always going to consider new and better ways of doing things. That is how I do things in IT. That is how I do things in my life personally. So I'm going to do that here on this channel. And I want to be able to provide the best experience I can for y'all. So if y'all have any constructive criticism and not so much some of the comments I got a couple weeks ago about how shitty my channel is, I realize it's not great. It's only been a couple of weeks. I'm still learning this, so I mean, it is what it is, right? But if you got any good constructive criticism, I'm always open and willing to hear it. Just let me know what you think. Anyways, that is what I think. This is the essential tools that I think you should get when building Gunpla. Other than that, I'll see y'all later, and I hope y'all enjoy the builds.